how can we act one way and then, when the opportunity comes around, she totally transforms and she's like, oh, we're best friends. Listen, it was on the debate stage. It doesn't matter what gets said on the debate stage, right? I mean, these politicians are the absolute worst. In the meantime, let's take a look at this, right? Billionaire CEO, Democrats starting to recognize the green energy push is all a fallacy. Now, as a Tesla owner, I'm very curious to see what he says here.
He joins me now. John, we've got Harris flip-flopping on fracking, and now this bipartisan group in Congress, including Democrats, they want to end Biden's pause on liquefied natural gas permits. Are the Democrats beginning to turn on energy, shift their position because it's an election year?
I believe during election years, everybody flip-flops. And I do business in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is a great state. And there's fracking is going on in Pennsylvania. The people on the Pennsylvania side of the border with New York State are driving Cadillacs. The people on the New York State side of the border are driving 55 Chevys. I mean, it's just crazy.
But is the party?
I don't know what he's getting at. Cadillacs and 55 Chevys. Brian says, the trend is your friend. Don't fight the direction. Yeah. Like, Brian, I can't tell you how important it is that people pay attention to what we do every single day, right? This is free out on YouTube's, and we give pure alpha all day, every day. And the fact that we can see the trends, identify the trends, and talk about the trends where other people are scrambling. I actually went on to CNBC and I'm like, what is going on? What is this sell-off, right? And Dow slides 700 points on track for the biggest sell-off in 2024. And everybody's freaking out. And it's what changed from yesterday? What changed from yesterday? Duh. What changed from yesterday? All right, back to this.
I mean, if you look at the big picture, are the Democrats just beginning to shift because it's an election year and they know we need fossil fuel energy?
Yes, they know we need fossil fuel energy. It's going to be prevalent all the way to 2050, 2060 and beyond. We have a...
Michael clarified his duh there. Not you, Brian. Duh, that in election years, everyone flip-flops. Just a couple days ago, I was hearing people talk about Kamala, who I hope so bad does not get voted in. Oh my gosh, I can't imagine how bad this would be. But she is the biggest flip-flopper ever. I mean, one of her biggest flip-flop faux pas was how she just was destroying Biden in their debate in 2020, saying how he's a racist, how he's awful, and all this other stuff. And then when Biden's like, oh yeah, I'm going to have a black woman as vice president. And she's like, oh, that's me. And it's how can we act one way and then, when the opportunity comes around, she totally transforms and she's like, oh, we're best friends. Listen, it was on the debate stage. It doesn't matter what gets said on the debate stage, right? I mean, these politicians are the absolute worst. Brian says, spy hit an order block. Let's see what happens. Is there an order block out there? Oh, it is inside of an order block. You're right. We'll come back to that in a minute. Trump is helping her out with his recent comments about her race. Yeah. She flip-flops so bad, you have to call it flop flips. Dude, yeah, I watched that last night and I was like, oof, that's pretty ugly, Trump. I gotta say, I was watching that and holding my breath because I'm like, oof, this is not the look that I'd be going for. That is for sure.
Zillion gallons, a zillion barrels around. And, fossil fuel energy is not made by dinosaurs. That's all a fallacy. The planet Earth makes the oil, or makes the crude oil.
Hold on. Okay, I don't know this guy. But he literally just said fossil fuel is not made by dinosaurs. I got to go revisit my history books there. Because I thought dinosaurs were fossils. Fossil fuel is made from fossil stuff. And fossils are dinosaurs. Clearly, I've lost supply here.
Because it uses the crude oil to take the plaques that balance the Earth to liquefy it. And
okay, this just got really interesting. This is this is not where I thought we were going here. This is going to be fun. Brian said maybe the aliens made it.
That's the truth. It's not fossil fuels. And the truth is wind energy is not going to work. Solar cells is not going to work. You're not going to run the United States of America on windmills and solar cells. That's obvious.
So when are the Democrats going to recognize that?
Well, they're starting to recognize
it and turn around energy policy?
They're starting to.
So I can agree with that, Michael, and that makes total sense to me, right? Like fossilized plants. Like imagine we've gotten all off on a tangent here. Imagine, right? You're talking about tens of millions of years. So how long were dinosaurs on Earth? It was like 130 million years, right? Imagine 130 million years of animal life, plant life, and everything else, right? Whatever life, alien life that comes during that time, right? All of that is getting chewed up, spit out, and I don't know, stomped into the ground, I suppose. And now we're just basically digging out all the old stuff. So I could totally see that a lot of this is the plants as well as the dinosaurs themselves. But I don't know where he's going with this.
To recognize it. I understand that SMRs, small modular reactors, that's going to be the future of America. And I've talked.
Okay, this has gone off the rails so hard. So now he's saying we need SMR, small modular reactors. So like, does every house get a nuclear reactor in the basement? Is that the plan?
Talked about it in the past. It's not going to happen tomorrow morning. I think the first installation will be maybe in 2030, 2031, and we may be in that business too. And the future of America is a transition from 100% oil to maybe 50% oil over the next 20 years, over the next.
Okay. He doesn't even know where he's going. I could see that, right? Okay, so quick backstory. I remember the first time that I was on TV, I was sweating bullets, and my publicist, she was like, "Listen, just give your opinion. It doesn't matter if you're right. It doesn't matter if you're wrong. Just give your opinion, and everyone's probably going to forget about it by the end of the week anyway." I think this guy just took that to the extreme. This guy's like, "Yeah, I'm going to make up some crazy shit on the fly and see what sticks against the wall." It's like fossil fuels, not dinosaurs. Okay. Everybody's going to have a nuclear reactor in their house. Okay. I really figured he'd be like, and this is why I picked this video. I figured he'd be like, people who drive Teslas are morons, and the green energy with all the electric cars is such a waste because they're using fossil fuels to create the energy. All the stuff that we've heard for ages, right? Me being a Tesla owner, I was like, oh, let's see what he has to say. He didn't go there at all. She assumed you had a rational opinion. Yeah, every once in a while you get one of those. But on the other side of the coin, you get a Cybertruck, and that's not very rational at all. Speaking of Teslas, let's go take a look at the Tesla stock price. I went by the Tesla factory, the Gigafactory in Austin twice over the weekend, right? When I was on my way out to Ox Ranch, which was one of the coolest experiences of my whole life. I was showing our housekeeper the slug. Here, let me get it real quick. I was showing this to her, and she's like, "What is that?" Hang on. So we shot tanks. This is not a slug from the tank we shot, but this is one that they pulled out of the range. And this range is where Mr. Beast does all of his like explosives and stuff too. So it's actually a pretty badass place. And we drove a tank around and whatnot. But yeah, I was showing this to her earlier today, and she's like, "Oh my God." And you can see where it clearly hit something and ricocheted off and destroyed whatever it hit. So anyway, on that total side note, we went by the Tesla Gigafactory on the way to and from Ox Ranch, and that thing is huge, right? It's funny because you're driving down the road and you see the side of it, and you're like, "Oh, okay, it's a factory, it's a big factory, whatever." And then you see like the front of it, and it just goes and goes, and it's like a mile long. It just keeps going and going, like the Energizer Bunny, right? I mean, it is huge, and they were expanding on it. Like they were adding another 100 feet or so to the side of the building, so it is enormous. So that was cool, right? My car came from Fremont, California, though. I was very disappointed to hear that. But if you are interested in Tesla stock, following the outlier buy and sell signals is probably the greatest thing you could ever do, right? The outlier buy and sell signals have given an 1,193% return versus buy and hold at only 352. So clearly the outlier signals are pretty fantastic. And we did just get a sell signal here on July 17th, right? This run right here, June 17th to July 17th. How big of a move was that? That was a big move. Look at that. And it just like crawled right up into the order blocks. So from June 17th to July 17th. That was a 38% up move right there. Then you get the sell signal, and it's already down. Oh, it's down nearly 13% since that sell signal. So yeah, pretty awesome signal that was here. So definitely take a look at Outlier if you already aren't doing that on a daily basis. Let's go jump into our market analysis. Couple news slides today in case I stumble over my words. Should be good here. Okay, welcome to the Outlier Trading Room. This is smart trading made simple. Save time, make money, start winning with less risk. Now that's what I like to call profit hacking, right? Now we're going to be covering how to do profit hacking today. We do it live every single day, and you can get a free copy of the profit hacking playbook over at profithackingplaybook.com, or it's inside the Discord, inside of the VIP Investors Toolkit. And for those of you who don't know me, my name is Christopher Yule. I've twice been awarded Top 100 People in Finance. I've been successfully trading since 2009. I'm a partner with Outlier, and this is my style of trading. And I like to call it the golden ticket trading strategy. It's the 8 steps to turn profit hacking into pure gold. And you'll notice down there a little subscribe graphic, right? If you aren't already subscribed, just double check real quick that you are subscribed down below. I just want to make sure that if you're watching this, you're subscribed, because we go live every single day talking about the market. And so the golden tickets trading strategy has the master key to unlock the strategy, and it's really saved our butts in the last couple of weeks, right? When you get moves like this in the market, it's really frustrating, right? I'm sure we've all traded these kind of moves before. It's really frustrating when you see that it should, not should, but the trend is down, and you're like, oh, let me go short. And then it goes back up, and you're like, oh, let me go long. And then it goes back down. And you don't have to do all that. I mean, legitimately, we got out on July 18th. I just mentioned yesterday how my dad was asking me what I was in right now, and I'm just like, I'm out. I got out on July 18th. I've avoided, and you've avoided, if you've been following along, all this volatility here, which is what allows people to stay in the market, is avoiding this sort of choppy, frustrating volatility, especially when these are big candles, right? I mean, top to bottom, this candle is 2% move on the SPY. So this is a pretty strong move here. But looking at this, the master key needs to have a few things. First is it needs to have the buy signal on the SPY, right? So if we're going to go long, I want to see a buy signal on the market. And the market does have a buy signal as of right now. I don't know when that's going to change, but I can imagine that that's going to change soon. And then the market breadth, and this is what got us out, is it had really reached full penetration, if you want to think. Yeah, my wife's going to let me know about that one. It had reached full penetration, and whenever it had crested that point, like whenever there's all the buyers that are in, what's left to do? Well, they're left to sell, and that's exactly what we've seen happen in the breadth. That's exactly what we've seen happen on the charts here. So, I mean, we're just making this as easy as possible for you on a daily basis, and that's why we do this, right? And then taking a look at the bull and bear list today. Let's take a look at a few stocks that passed through, right? We've only got 10 on the bull list and 55 on the bear list. So like I said, I'm not going to be trading because it doesn't meet the master key, right? We do have a buy signal here, but this is bearish. So I'm not even interested in looking at the sector breadth of the individual stocks. But let's take a look at what the signals are showing, right? I haven't cherry picked these, so I legit don't know if these are good signals or not. Let's look at Amgen. Let's look at Bud. And let's look at what's another one from today? Anyone I recognize? I was having this conversation with Mark the other day, one of the co-founders, and he was like, dude, there's so many stocks I don't even like, I've never even heard of them before. I'm like, yeah, I know. Riot sounds cool. Let's take a look at that. So Amgen, right? We got a sell signal here today. We had a buy signal came through around 333. It's about flat from that point right there, right? That buy and sell signal. Let's take a look at the performance summary. 62% here. So if you're an Amgen, healthcare, I don't know what Amgen is, but it's in healthcare. If you're interested in Amgen or the healthcare sector, maybe this is one that's interesting to you, but we did just get a sell signal today on that. Look at Bud, Anheuser-Busch. Okay, funny story. Like when we were out at Ox Ranch, oh my gosh, I have not drank this much since college, right? I mean, we were laying it down, and it was, everybody was drinking beers, and I pulled out these ranch waters, and I'm going to town, these ranch waters, and I'm like, oh, this is good. And I'm throwing them on my buddies, and I'm like, "You guys got to try these." And by the end of the weekend, it was Twisted Teas and Ranch Waters. Like that was all we were living on, was Twisted Teas and Ranch Waters. What kind of show is this? I know. I'll try to keep it light. So let's see. We got a sell signal today on Budweiser. Let's look at the performance summary. Outlier -2% on these buy and sell signals, but it sure outperformed buy and hold. Buy and hold is down 27%. So definitely not one that I'm interested in right now, but keep that on your radar. And then Riot, we got a sell signal today. And performance, holy moly. Get the Riot with these kind of returns, 1,588%. 1,588% following these outlier signals. I don't know what Riot is, but these signals have like totally killed it. So if any of these sound good to you, be sure to log into your Outlier account and take a look at what's on the buy and sell list there. I always like to cover these, especially on days when I'm not trading anything. And it can be a couple weeks or so before I actually start getting back into trading. I need to make sure for my own portfolio that I've got everything lined up. But of course, Outlier delivers you new opportunities every single day. Brian, I have no idea what kind of show this is, but I'll make sure to come back tomorrow and show you some more of it. Y'all have a great afternoon, and we'll talk soon.